Hey guys, Scar9 here, welcome back to my channel today, and in this video we are going to be going over the very recent leak for the Crimson Days event that seems to be returning within Destiny 2. Now all of this information was data mined by Ginsor over on the Destiny subreddit. I will have the original post linked down in the description below, but in this video what we are going to be doing is taking a look at all the content he actually found, and then I'm going to be sharing my opinions on why I think a lot of this is going to be changing soon because of the feedback that we gave to the Dawning event. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So all of the things I'm going to be reading actually pertain to different quest steps or things that you will find in the description of an item, things like that. So this is how we are primarily getting all of this information. So the first set of these actually seem to be from the general Crimson Days quest itself, and they read, Guardians honor the unbreakable bonds they forge on and off the battlefield by competing in the Crucible's Crimson Days festival. First, follow the rose petals in the tower to Tess Eververse. She has something for you. Then you speak to Tess Eververse to claim your free Crimson Days engram. So right off the bat, we can see a very similar structure to how the Dawning was structured, where we get one free engram and then I imagine 2 per week of the event. Now, I personally believe this will be changed. Bungie does not need the heat over Eververse for another Eververse-centered event right now, so I think that this will be reworked in a way so we actually get these engrams from gameplay, or at the very least, they will make it so we can earn a couple more than 2 per week. That being said, the Dawning reward system really wasn't that bad. I still managed to get a full set of Dawning armor on my hunter and the emote without spending a dime on Eververse. If you play the game, it is very possible to earn all of that stuff through Bright Dust or through the free engrams that you get. However, that being said, this is absolutely not the best way to run an activity. I believe that all of the rewards need to come from the gameplay activities themselves. For instance, if there is going to be a Crimson Days themed armor set, I do not believe it needs to come from some random store in the tower. We need to get these armor pieces as random drops from actually participating in the Crimson Doubles event. So I am really hoping that Bungie takes all the feedback that we screamed at them for the Dawning event and they use that to forge a better version of the Crimson Days event. Now, speaking of Crimson Doubles, the next set of quotes actually pertains to Lord Shaxx in the Crucible. Speak to Lord Shaxx in the tower to learn more about his love for Crimson Days. As boisterous as ever, Shaxx speaks warmly and loudly of Crimson Days and of his challenge to Guardians who choose to celebrate with him in the Crucible. Shaxx congratulates you and your Crimson Bond on battles hard fought and victories hard won during Crimson Days and offers a handsome reward with his inspiring words. Complete Crimson Days Crucible matches, complete Crimson Day matches to earn holiday themed rewards, Crimson Doubles, and win a Crimson Days match in sudden death. So from those in-game texts, it does look like Crimson Doubles is coming back. Now, we have some UI elements that we'll take a look at in a second, but I do want to say I also believe there will be a second game mode coming with Crimson Days. It only makes sense. With the addition of Mayhem Clash back into the code before the Dawning, the game modes Rumble and Elimination were both added back into the game's code, meaning they will be returning sometime soon, and I think a Rumble mode centered around the theme of Crimson Days would be really awesome, especially for those Guardians who aren't in a clan or who do not have consistent friends online. So it seems like we are for sure getting Crimson Doubles back, but I might be expecting some other game modes as well. Now, like we previously discussed, there are some other cosmetic items coming with this event. Emotes, ghost shells, ornaments, shaders, mods, transmat effects, and sparrows have all been found in the code. I actually have a pretty cool graphic to share with you guys in just a couple of seconds that details some of these rewards. But once again, after this, there does seem to be more quotes centered around Eververse, which I do think are very subject to change. These read, this engram contains one Crimson Days vanity reward and a small stack of shaders or a transmat effect, a one-time bundle for Guardians who develop lasting bonds, contains Crimson Days engrams, Bright Dust, a weapon ornament for the Graviton Lance, and a Fire Team medallion, available only during Crimson Days. Show your love for Crimson Days with these exclusive ghost shells and emotes. Speed through Crimson Days alongside your Crimson Bond with these exclusive sparrows. These shaders and mods in the color of roses, love, and other bonds capture the spirit of the year's Crimson Days celebrations. Your favorite weapons will inspire new bonds everywhere when they are customized with these Crimson Days exclusive ornaments. So if you guys remember, a while back I did make that video on the 4 weapon ornaments that were left out of the Dawning update, and a lot of you guys pointed out that I was actually mistaken. The UI logo on those ornaments was not the Dawning logo, it was the Crimson Days logo. In my video, I only showed off 4 because that was all that was in the database at the time, but it does look like a 5th one was added to the database, and we will be getting that as well, and it looks like it is going to be for the Telesto. We'll get to that in a little bit. But once again, a lot of this seems to be centered around the Eververse, which, like I said before, I believe is hugely subject to change. There is no way Bungie is going to take more negative press over the same thing they already took negative press for, so I definitely think that they're going to take the time, revamp the event in a better way before we actually see the launch in about a month. So there's also just a couple of miscellaneous things. It looks like the Ghost will track the Crimson Days kills, and somehow Tyra Karn is involved as well. So past this, we also have some logos that were data mined from the code as well. So all of these were found by Eververse, and I'll go ahead and put it up on screen for you guys. And here you can just see the array of sparrows, ghost shells, and the 5 weapon ornaments that we will be getting. However, in my opinion, those 2 Osiris theme things down at the bottom, I don't believe are going to actually be part of this event. In the code itself, the pictures are not labeled in any way to suggest they are actually part of the Crimson Days event. I believe these were just things added to the database around the same time. So I don't think those are actually going to be part of the event. We might get to see them in the future or something like that, but for right now, I would say those are probably not part of it. Then you also get to see the 2 brand new shaders and all of the rest of the rewards. And then the other images that were found are just different UI elements that we will be able to see while the event is actually live. And I just want to point out a couple of these that are very, very interesting. The one on the top left is actually a raid logo. So I'm not sure how the raid is going to be involved within Crimson Days. It would be awesome if we got that Crimson Days buff during the raid as well. I'm very interested to see what they do there because obviously I am primarily a raider. And personally, I would love for the 2 raids to be altered in some small way for the duration of this event. Sort of like during the Dawning, how snowballs were added into all of the strikes. I would love to see something like that happen to the raids for the Crimson Days event as well. Then going along the top, you just have some general stuff. You have the Crimson Days engram. Then in the middle, you have the buff logo, which I believe was called like Heartbroken or something like that in Destiny 1. Essentially, if your teammate dies, you just become super powerful. Then you have the Crimson Days box. And then one that is really interesting, you have the logo for the Crimson Days emote, which looks like you will draw a heart in midair, which is pretty cool. Then below that, you have one that looks like it is going to be for some type of Crimson Days quest. Then on the bottom row, you have some very general graphics, things like medals for the Crucible and the general emblem for the event. And then going up the left side, you have what appears to be 2 separate graphic logos for 2 separate Crucible modes, which I am extremely excited for. But that is going to be all of the information that we currently have around Crimson Days. Like I said, I believe a lot of this is going to be redone and refocused very quickly before the event actually launches sometime in February. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comment section below. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and to share it with your friends. If you are interested in watching either of the 2 videos on screen, you can click their respective annotations to be taken to them. If you are brand new to my channel, make sure to hit the giant version of my logo on screen to be subscribed for more awesome Destiny 2 videos and live streams. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you in my next video.